Everything Apple does usually makes the news, but what might end up being their most important innovation yet has managed to fly completely under the radar. Apple is constructing a social network, and no one is talking about it. This, coupled with the new no tracking rules that will come with the iOS 15, should be worrying for social media platforms, especially the ones that make revenues from selling customer information, more specifically, Facebook.
We've spoken out time and again for strong encryption without backdoors, recognizing that security is the foundation of privacy.
Steve Jobs' vision for Apple was for the company to remain at the forefront of technological advancement and constantly usher in new and valuable products that would serve humanity's most crucial needs. When you study Apple's history, it is only logical to assume that they will eventually launch a social network. After all, Jobs was insistent on his products having as many valuable features as possible. He wanted the iPhone to offer the public limitless experiences in information, communication, and access. So when Apple began dropping clues that hint at a coming social media platform, it made perfect sense. During the 2021 WWDC Developer Conference, Apple presented what appears to be the foundation for a future social network, the kind that Mark Zuckerberg himself would refer to as a future of communications. Apple intends to update its iOS and macOS with the core new social engine that brings its communication and entertainment apps together cohesively to form an amenity-filled haven for social interaction. Apple has been making an active effort to make their apps more social. iMessage and FaceTime have been consistently modified to enhance social interactions between Apple users. They now allow users to hold group meetings, enjoy music together, and of course, watch movies together. Once you start to look at this individually, it isn't immediately obvious, but once you look at them together, there are obvious signs that show Apple's behind-the-scenes work towards creating a social environment and quite possibly a social network. What makes it even more incredible is that Apple provides a haven for social interaction that is free of the fear of being tracked. Being Apple, it is unlikely that they will fail at such a venture. Apple has a history of being successful in new industries, mostly because of their innovative spirit, which often drives the company, to develop products that are so superior to others in the relevant industries that it forces a scaling up in new technologies within the industry. Apple's vision for social media platforms is supported by their already large user base. There are currently 588 million Apple users and over 1 billion Apple devices currently in active use globally. Already, Apple has a large user base for their social network. It helps that Apple users are incredibly loyal and use Apple apps for various activities such as listening to music, watching films, for TV and video conferencing. Already, Apple has social elements at its foundation, and all their apps work together in unison and form a cohesive ecosystem. Apple's social media platform will increase the willingness of users to purchase their other services, especially the Apple One bundle, which gives users access to all of Apple's services in one subscription. Another factor to consider is Apple's Contacts app, which is beginning to look more like a profile page by the day. The Contacts app presently features your phone number and FaceTime links. In the future, it could be used as a platform to share status updates and pictures as well as links to posts and even video clips. This will make you more willing to interact with your contacts than a platform like WhatsApp. This would make the Contacts app the base for Apple's social network. Users will be able to interact with each other through their contacts without having to make a phone call or send a text. You can also interact with them on other applications, such as Apple Plus and FaceTime. Like WhatsApp, this social network will make it difficult for someone who doesn't have your contacts to access you. But unlike WhatsApp, you'll have access to numerous features across various apps on the phone, without any of the privacy concerns. Best of all, there won't be any annoying ads or bots trying to sell you things that you neither want nor need. You'll just interact with people you know in real life. The profile section will probably not look like that of a typical social media platform. This is because it isn't intended to be a public platform, but a community for people who use Apple products. With this product, Apple will be able to create almost any type of social setting they want, including a social gaming network. All it has to do is bring them all together. This will make it possible for you to do things like scroll through social media together with your friends and share things with people in an instant within any of the relevant apps on your Apple device. It helps that Facebook is coming under increasing scrutiny for their tracking activities.
Facebook has detailed profiles on people who have never signed up for Facebook, yes or no?
Congressman, in general, we collect data of people who have not signed up for Facebook for security purposes to prevent the kind of scraping that you were just referring to.
Facebook's business model involves collecting and selling data to advertisers in order to help them get their content directly to the target audience. Their clients range from small businesses to politicians, and though this is a valuable and lucrative business model, it doesn't sit right with Facebook users or with world governments. This is where Apple might have an edge. iOS 15 will prevent Facebook from being able to track its users by providing them with the option of opting out, and it is obvious that almost everyone who is offered this opportunity will jump on it. This could potentially cost Facebook billions of dollars, which is why Mark Zuckerberg has resorted to writing blog posts that challenge Apple and its stance on privacy, tracking, and other matters. Zuckerberg had seen this coming. During Facebook's fourth quarter earnings call in 2021, he said iMessage is a key linchpin of their ecosystem. It comes pre-installed in every iPhone, and they reference it with private APIs and permissions. Platforms and algorithms that promise to improve our lives can actually magnify our worst human tendencies, Apple CEO Tim Cook told at a conference of European privacy commissioners in 2018. Rogue actors and even governments have taken advantage of users' trust to deepen divisions, incite violence, and even undermine our shared sense of what is true and what is false. This crisis is real. It is not imagined or exaggerated or crazy. Apple is eagerly taking advantage of the damage done to the public by existing social media platforms and is offering a superior and far more valuable alternative. If Apple releases a social media platform, there is no doubt this would be received gladly. iPhone users in particular would love to maintain contact with their friends and interact with them in as many ways as possible without needing to download any apps. This will make the iPhone itself and other Apple products the ultimate social media platform and will no doubt drive up the sales of iPhones. This is not Apple's first attempt at creating a social network. Around 10 years ago, Apple had attempted to launch a social network called iPing, which was a social platform that allowed iTunes users to share the music they were listening to, as well as their opinions about the songs. The app allowed them to follow their friends and their favorite artists. Unfortunately, this was not successful, specifically because Apple lacked the technology and the ecosystem of communications and entertainment apps they have today. Now, the only thing holding them back is their willingness to proceed. Apple is uniquely equipped to pull this off. It has the needed applications, control and resources, and user base. The general fear that Facebook has placed in the hearts of its users is combated by the immense lack of alternatives. Apple's social media platform might just be the alternative that billions of social media users have been searching for. The only catch is that you need an iPhone to access this platform, which is likely going to be the point of this entire venture, to sell billions of Apple products and subscriptions to its services. That being said, if Apple's social network ends up being half as good as we expect, buying an iPhone to gain access to it would be completely logical. There are too many good arguments for why this would be a successful venture for Apple, and it won't be surprising if we see this take the world by storm within the next decade.